Happy tomorrow, folks. Now, one person in my comment section actually asked me some tips that they could use for their own YouTube gaming videos. But I decided, let's turn into a full-fledged video, shall we? So that's what I'm going to be doing this video. I'm going to show you some different softwares that you can use to record, some editing softwares, and even some tips that you can use for your videos. Quick disclaimer, this video is not going to cover different types of equipment because that more so falls under the category of building a gaming setup. So if you want a separate video for that, I got some tips for that as well. Alright, let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to assume that you already have a computer that's built for gaming in the first place. If you don't, this tutorial isn't going to help with that. Because unfortunately, some games, even a few-year-old games, do require a decent amount of power to be able to run them. So I guess my first step would be get a gaming PC. If you already have one, you completed this step. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about recording softwares. Now, there are a bunch that you can use. Like, you can get ones like Fraps, DxTory, Marillus Action. However, my personal favorite is OBS, or Open Broadcast Server. What I primarily like about OBS is the fact that it gives you the option to, well, for one, record your desktop audio, but also allows you to record your microphone. You can add a bunch of different elements to it too. Like you could even put your webcam on there, or a camera window, or you can do a lot with it. Like, for example, if your game capture does not seem to be working with OBS, you can set it to screen capture, and that should be able to capture your game. So with the right recording settings, this software can benefit you greatly. These right here are my favorite settings for recording in OBS. This delivers really crisp video quality. And OBS has a bunch of different settings that you can play around with too. Alright, now let's go ahead and talk about voice recording. So when it comes to voice recording, once again, there are a lot of softwares that you can choose from. However, my personal favorite is Audacity. One of the reasons that I like Audacity is, well, it's free. So yeah, you don't have to spend a dime to get a program. But also it gives you a lot of effects. So for example, noise reduction, vocoders, limiters, you name it, it's probably got it. I will throw this out there real quick. I have worked with other softwares, and if any of you do happen to have an Adobe subscription, pick up Adobe Audition. That'll serve you well as well. Alright, so now let's talk what's going to bring your whole project together. Editing software. Now, a lot of the softwares that you could use for your gaming videos, they do require a little bit of time to learn. Like, for example, a good beginner software that'll really deliver on the videos is Sony Vegas. Sony Vegas is, as soon as you get the hang of it, it does become pretty simple, so it's definitely something worth picking up. However, though, it is not free. You could pirate it, but that's really not a wise choice. Now, another software that I can highly recommend is Adobe Premiere Pro. Now, Adobe softwares, they really deliver. The problem is, though, is that you will need to spend quite a lot of time to learn the software because a lot of it is not simple. But if you're doing something as simple as just dragging and dropping footage and making a few cuts, that will actually not take long to learn at all. So once again, if any of you have an Adobe subscription, use Premiere Pro, it'll benefit you a lot. In fact, a lot of the stuff that I'm going to say is going to benefit you a lot. So since I just compared the two softwares, someone's probably going to ask me which one of the two is better. Well, I personally like Premiere Pro a lot because, for one, I don't know what is it with Vegas, but I get a lot of lag in that, so I don't quite know how to fix that. Premiere Pro, you just change like a couple settings and you got smooth performance. Another issue with Vegas is that my camera that I'm using here, I try to drop the footage into there, it just like would not read it. However, Premiere Pro would. So yeah, I really like Premiere Pro. This right here is my personal favorite settings for Premiere Pro. It gives me really high quality. I should say this though, is that the settings here, they do lag my computer a little bit, but if you have a very good processor as well as a good video card, you shouldn't really experience any lag. Alright, so now I'm going to give you some tips and tricks, and this right here is my personal favorite trick. So real quick, aligning audio and video in post-processing is a time-consuming process, but there is a way to speed that up. So you remember how I mentioned in OBS it gives you the option to record your microphone? Well, since you're recording your voice separately, you're going to want to mute that. However though, before you mute it, here's what you're going to want to do. When all of your software is recording, do a loud clap. And if it helps, you can do a couple claps too. And what that is going to do is that's going to cause a huge audio spike in your software so that when you export it and then put it into your software, you can see it in both of your tracks and you'll be able to line it up perfectly. Now, another tip is to always talk in your videos because no one really wants to watch a video when you're just sitting there like, So always talk in your videos, unless you're doing one of those videos where you're playing the entire game and it's a no commentary thing. There are some exceptions to that, however. Like, for example, if you're in a video game and there's just this one big scene that if you're not talking over it, but you're trying to capture your reaction, that works just fine too. Alright, so now let's go ahead and talk about thumbnails. Now, you can make your thumbnail in pretty much any software you want. Like, if you want to, you can make one in MS Paint. There is no right way to make a thumbnail. There are 1,000 different ways that you can make a thumbnail. However though, the one tip that I could say for that is make sure that the thumbnail stays relative to the video. You could clickbait, sure, but at least make sure that the thumbnail lines up with the video. Like, for example, if you're doing a man-eater video, don't do like a siren head thumbnail, because that's just going to get a lot of confusing reactions. Alright, another tip that I will give is this. You'll want to make yourself an end card. And the reason for that is, you all know that YouTube's card system now? Well, the problem with that is that there is no option to disable that if you're on a desktop, for example. So if you just put that at the end of your video, chances are it could cover up something big that's going to happen at the end of the video. And if that happens, that's just going to ruin it. So create yourself an end card. You can look up templates online, or you could maybe even copy a template, but whatever the case may be, just make sure that you have a card so that way it doesn't take away from the original video that you aim to create. Now, the next ones are entirely optional. You could just do a regular greeting like, "Hey everyone," or you can come up with an intro that's probably unique to you. But it could all come down to how you deliver it. For example, I haven't seen anyone on YouTube say, "Happy tomorrow, folks," so that's how the intro became mine. I came up with something that's kind of funny, but also unique. Also, another optional one, you don't have to add this if you don't want to, but another one would be some kind of like intro like these. Yeah, you could add one of those, and there are a lot of templates that you can download, but they are not required. Also, the last tip, the most important tip, have fun. There are probably billions of games that you can play in the world, so if you have fun playing a game, then record yourself playing it, upload to YouTube and see what people say. You don't have to follow trends if you don't want to. Let's say, like, for example, if the trendiest game on YouTube right now is Minecraft, but you want to play Pac-Man, then go ahead, play Pac-Man. Your channel is your channel, so what you put on it is all up to you. Just don't violate the guidelines, okay? Alright, that'll do it for this tutorial. I hope this gave you a few pointers that you can use for your own videos. Also, let me know if you would like me to do a video on equipment that you can use, because there is a pretty long video that I could make for the, well, not entirely long, but it's pretty informative. If you made it this far in the video, why not leave a like on the video, drop a comment in the comment section, let me know what you think about this tutorial, and also, while you're there, why not click that subscribe button, because there's a secret to the YouTube platform. If you click the subscribe button, chances are it'll turn white, and not a lot of people get to see that. So click my subscribe button, and let's see if you'll be lucky enough to see a white subscribe button. Well, I guess that's all I have to say. So again, like, comment, subscribe, all of that, and I'll see you in my next video. Have a good yesterday.